Hello everyone and welcome to the third horror character Hunger Games. Let's freaking go, baby. It's been a couple of months since the last Hunger Games, so we got 30 more horror characters entering this Hunger Games simulator and only one can walk out the winner. So let's go through our participants. We have Amanda Young, Audrey 2, the Babyface Killer, Brenda from Scary Movie, Bruce, Chef Slowick, Cindy from Scary Movie, Count Orlok, Edward Scissorhands, Eric Draven, Ghost Rider, Godzilla, Grace from Ready or Not, Hercule Poirot from, those movies, Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, Jennifer from Jennifer's Body, Kong, Laurie Strode, Lisa Swallows, Mr. Reed from Heretic, Nemesis, Sienna Shaw, Sky Riley, Slenderman, Slimer, Sue Sparkle, the Ashman from Stop Motion, The Terminator, Uber Jason, and Victor Crowley. Jason is our first ever returning participant, but he's Uber Jason, so maybe it'll give him a better shot at winning. I don't know. So let's start the game. Bloodbath. Lisa breaks Godzilla's nose for a... what the... Lisa breaks Godzilla's nose for a basket of bread. Okay. Nemesis stays at the cornucopia for resources. Hercule pushes Chef Slowick off a cliff during a knife fight. If anyone was going to know how to use a knife, I thought it was going to be Chef Slowick. Victor Crowley breaks Ian Malcolm's nose for a basket of bread. Sky Riley grabs a sword. Mr. Reed decapitates Slenderman with the sword. Dang, a lot of sword action. Kong runs away from the cornucopia. Edward Scissorhands betrays Uber Jason. Edward Scissorhands was a false friend already. Jason is out. Jennifer clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Pretty smart. The Ashman, Slimer, and Ghost Rider get into a fight. Slimer triumphantly kills them both. Hell yeah. Brenda grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. Sienna Shaw kills Sue Sparkle with a hatchet. Speaking of hatchet, we got Victor Crowley in this thing. Audrey 2 finds a bag full of explosives. Bruce and Laurie Strode fight for a bag. Bruce strangles Laurie Strode with the straps and runs. Eric Draven snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Count Orlok clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Grace steps off her podium too soon and blows up. Oh, come on. Amanda Young finds a bag full of explosives. The Terminator severely injures Cindy and leaves her to die. And the Babyface Killer runs into the cornucopia and hides. It's officially day one. Edward Scissorhands steals from Brenda while she isn't looking. Amanda overhears Audrey 2 and the Babyface Killer talking in the distance. Sky Riley receives clean water from an unknown sponsor, probably one of her many fans. Victor Crowley runs away from Eric Draven. Lisa sets off an explosive, killing Nemesis, Hercule Poirot, and Bruce, saying she killed a big man-made creation monster, a detective of some sort, and a freaking shark. God dang, Lisa. Count Orlok injures himself. Slimer, Godzilla, and Ian Malcolm hunt for other tributes. What a trio right here. The Terminator stalks Kong. Mr. Reed bleeds out due to untreated injuries. And Sienna Shaw stabs Jennifer with a tree branch. It's night number one. Slimer sets off an explosive, killing Godzilla. Must have been a pretty big explosive. Lisa, Ian, and Eric Draven discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Count Orlok stays awake all night. Amanda Young goes to sleep. Sienna Shaw lets Brenda into her shelter. Edward Scissorhands receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Audrey 2, the Terminator, Babyface Killer, Kong, and Victor Crowley sleep in shifts. Damn, what a freaking powerful group we got here. And Sky Riley is awoken by nightmares. I could only imagine. So the Fallen, half the field is already gone. Sue, Chef Slowick, Uber Jason, Slenderman, Grace, Cindy, the Ashman, Ghost Rider, Laurie Strode, Nemesis, Hercule, Bruce, Jennifer, Mr. Reed, and Godzilla. Damn, I wish Godzilla lasted a bit longer. I wish a lot of these guys lasted a bit longer, but hey, it's the Hunger Games, baby. It's gonna be brutal. On day number 2, Lisa goes hunting. Count Orlok, Edward Scissorhands, and Victor Crowley hunt for other tributes. Sky Riley fishes. Sienna receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Slimer repeatedly stabs Kong to death with size. Oh my god, did Slimer kill Godzilla and Kong? Jesus. Ian Malcolm is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Babyface Killer receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Amanda Young scares Audrey 2 off. The Terminator makes a slingshot. And Eric Draven stabs Brenda while her back is turned. Nighttime once again. Babyface Killer cannot handle the circumstances and oh my god. Oh, wow. Audrey 2 thinks about winning. Count Orlok bashes Victor Crowley's head in with a mace. Eric Draven and Edward Scissorhands talk about the tribute still alive. Lisa throws a knife into the Terminator's chest. I wonder if it killed him. Probably. Sienna Shaw stays awake all night. Ian Malcolm sets up camp for the night. Sky Riley is feeling tense. Slimer strangles Amanda Young with the rope. Oh my god, Slimer is on a killing spree. The Fallen, Brenda, Kong, Victor Crowley, Amanda, Babyface Killer, and the Terminator. Lisa killed the Terminator. Slimer, I believe, killed Godzilla and Kong. it's gonna come down to Lisa Frankenstein or Lisa Swallows and Slimer. What a crazy final two we might end up with. Now it's time for a feast. Sky Riley, again, is feeling tense. Edward Scissorhands shoots an arrow through Eric Draven's head. They were just working together, I thought. Ian Malcolm bashes Slimer's head in with the mace. Okay, I take back my Slimer's gonna make it to the end comment. Count Orlok and Sienna Shaw decide to work together and get more supplies, okay? Actually, I haven't seen the new Nosferatu, but Orlok working with Sienna Shaw kind of makes sense, I think, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Audrey 2 destroys Lisa Swallow's memoirs out of spite. Oh, come on, Audrey 2. What a mean-ass plant. Day number 3. Ian Malcolm kills Lisa as she tries to run. Damn. Sky Riley kills Audrey 2 as Audrey 2 tries to run. Sienna Shaw is feeling tense. Count Orlok receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor, and Edward Scissorhands searches for a water source. Night number 3, Sienna Shaw, Edward Scissorhands, Sky Riley, and Ian Malcolm sleep in shifts, and Count Orlok cooks his food before putting his fire out. If these four can stay on the same page, it's looking like Count Orlok's gonna be out next. The Fallen, 4 cannon shots, Slimer, Eric Draven, Lisa, and Audrey 2. I really thought this was gonna be our final two. He was taking out the big boys. She was taking out some big heavy hitters. It's like, okay, never mind, I guess. Day number 4, Sky Riley stabs Sienna Shaw with a tree branch. Oh my god, that's the second time that's happened. Edward Scissorhands tried to spear fish with a trident. I don't know if he needs a trident. He's got, he's got scissor hands. Count Orlok searches for firewood, and Ian Malcolm searches for a water source. There's a good chance he could run into Edward. It's nighttime once again. Sky Riley thinks about winning. Count Orlok starts a fire. Edward Scissorhands repeatedly stabs Ian Malcolm to death with sighs. I told you they would meet up. Edward came out on top. Sienna Shaw and Ian Malcolm are out. We are down to like our final 3 or 4, I think. Day number 5. Edward Scissorhands questions his sanity, okay. Sky Riley travels to higher ground, okay, the strategist of our last final few. And Count Orlok receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Okay, we're down to the final 3. The next click could show who the winner is gonna be. We pick an Edward, Sky, or Orlok. I'm thinking Sky Riley. She has been so strategic these last couple of nights, so she might take it, and Edward is just kind of lost in himself, but he's getting a couple of kills. Count Orlok has just sort of been a loner, so maybe that might work for him, I don't know. Night number 5, Sky Riley convinces Count Orlok not to kill her, only to kill him instead! And Edward Scissorhands starts a fire. Well, we're down to our final 2, Sky Riley going up against Edward Scissorhands. Who is gonna win Horror Hunger Games number 3? The Fallen. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance, and that is Count Orlok. It's time for another feast, and Edward Scissorhands sobs while gripping a photo of his family and friends. Oh no, poor Winona Ryder back home worried about Edward, and Sky Riley is feeling tense for the 3rd time now. Day number 6, Sky Riley discovers a cave, and Edward Scissorhands receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Ooh. Sky Riley's been losing herself a little bit, and Edward Scissorhands just got an upper hand by receiving that explosive, so I don't know. Night number 6, Edward Scissorhands is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. And Sky Riley quietly hums. It'd be really funny if she was like humming one of her own songs. And Edward Scissorhands, this uncomfortable night might, I don't know, could be the downfall. Edward Scissorhands sleeping without warmth. I don't know if that's gonna mess with him for day number 7, but we'll have to see. Day number 7, Edward Scissorhands shoots an arrow into Sky Riley's head. Well, that'll do it. The games have ended. The winner is Edward Scissorhands. And there you have it with a whopping 4 kills. Edward Scissorhands is your winner. Uber Jason died right off the bat. Terminator made it pretty far and got himself a kill. The Ashman off the bat. Sue right at the start. Slimer with 5 kills. Sky Riley got 3 kills for herself, and she did make it to round 15, which might be the furthest a competitor has gotten within these 3 Hunger Games, so still pretty good effort. Nemesis was out early, Mr. Reed as well. Lisa got some pretty awesome kills, but she died about halfway through. Kong didn't really do much. Godzilla didn't do a whole lot. Count Orlok lasted a while, but only got himself 1 kill. The Scary Movie gals didn't really get too much done, even though Brenda did make it to round 3, so that's something. The shark from Jaws got at least 1 kill, but he died pretty early. And Amanda, no kills for her. I thought this was a pretty unique set of competitors. We've already done a good chunk of the heavy hitters in horror within the first 2 videos, so we got some oddballs thrown in here, like, an Ashman and the Slimer. But yeah, Edward Scissorhands is your winner of Horror Hunger Games number 3. I do one of these every couple of months or so I'll see you in 2 more months for Horror Hunger Games number 4. Thank you for watching. If you have any competitor suggestions for the next games, let me know, and go watch the 2 other Hunger Games videos if you haven't seen them already. Goodbye.